Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT specials is provided by Cachefly at cachefly.com.
Welcome to WonderCon for another TWiT Live special. I'm Tom Merritt.
I'm Sarah Lane.
And this is the Comic-Con of San Francisco.
And it's the 25th year of WonderCon, in fact.
Absolutely.
For anyone who's not familiar with WonderCon, I mean, 25 years, it's a lot longer than I thought they had even been going for.
It started over in Oakland, California. It got too big, and when Comic-Con took it over, they actually moved it over here to San Francisco to the Moscone Center.
Which is where we are here.
The Moscone Center, you may recognize this place from other conventions.
Yeah, Moscone is where Apple keynotes are, for example. A variety of trade shows throughout the year. There's always something going on at Moscone. But for 3 days, at the beginning of, end of March, beginning of April, it is WonderCon.
All the halls, Hall A, B, and C are all combined inside there. So you'll see a lot of folks, Klingons, every once in a while a Boba Fett, coming down and heading into, I said that without seeing the Boba Fett, and then they showed up right behind. Although that Boba Fett has the helmet on, doesn't look like the clone I remember.
You can't go 10 feet without seeing a Boba Fett.
We have an ape from Planet of the Apes.
There's some super friends. They're taking some pictures over on the other side of mezzanine from us. Elvis Stormtrooper enjoying a little bit of a limelight himself.
And this is serious business for a lot of these folks. They're into costume play, what's called cosplay, and they dress up for all of these different conventions because they like it. It's fun. It's fun to like make the costumes, make it work.
Mm-hmm. Tom, I was asking you before we went live. It seems there are differing degrees of cosplay. There's like a let's just be crazy because we have an excuse to dress up, and then there are the people who you can tell aren't really. This isn't like fun playtime. This is kind of serious. You get into character. It's not just about putting some crazy makeup on. Yeah,
that's exactly right. And you'll see all examples. There's folks that have like a paper hat on, and they're like, "Hey, I'm a frog person from my favorite frog person comic book."
Frogs wear paper hats.
And then you get a guy who's gone to the trouble of creating a second head with horns coming out of it, and sewed a red and black cape. Yeah, and is wearing his heart literally not on his sleeve, but in front of himself. Yeah,
or something like that.
There's always a little bit of that weirdness when you see like the Klingon sitting down eating a chicken sandwich,
or a gun pointed at someone else's face.
Yeah, they actually have to register those guns
if you don't know what's going on.
If you're worried about like people walking around with guns that could lead to bad stuff, to carry a gun in the convention, you have to actually go check it in and have it signed off on that like this is an okay prop to be carrying around.
I think that's a responsible way to be.
Look, brain age. You can dress up as anything. That's actually one of the awesome things about these kind of cons is that you can do sort of whatever you want.
So what do you say? Should we?
Do you want to talk to Black Swan first? Could we talk to you?
If it's okay with her. So.
I don't know if you. This is Sarah Lane.
Hi. So. I don't want to make the situation awkward, but I felt that I needed to say something. You may not know me, but Sarah Lane was your body double in the movie Black Swan.
I did not know that. I appreciate your assistance.
Well, see, this is the thank you. I guess I just had to ask.
Yeah, that's all it was.
You appreciate it.
I don't know why Entertainment Week is making such a big deal.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without you.
I know. I worked really hard. But in all seriousness, this is beautiful. Did you make this? How did you put this all together?
So I had the corset from a past costume. I actually had the feathers from a past costume. It's just a Victoria's Secret strapless bra that I decorated and a choo-choo from a ballet shot. So I guess I half made it. I collected it and then altered it slightly to make it work for the show.
I assume this isn't your first WonderCon?
It is not. This is actually my third, but I moved out here about 4 years ago. I went to a local one in Minneapolis before that.
So there are other WonderCons. This is the big WonderCon here in San Francisco, but there are little regional WonderCons.
Right. It's not exactly a WonderCon. It was called Convergence, but it's a sci-fi comic book convention. Same idea.
All right. So I love the outfits. You just got ready. Now, when you get ready for something, what happens? You hit the floor and start talking to other folks?
Usually I'll go down and I'll wander kind of in the booths. There's some good photo ops around here, around the edges. So yeah, I just explore. It's fun. And I think about what I'm going to buy tomorrow because everything goes on sale tomorrow. So I will not be in costume tomorrow so that no one takes my photo, and I'll just walk the booths and buy everything on sale.
Good tip. All right, well, enjoy. Lovely outfit, and thank you for thanking me. As your body double, I just want what's due to me.
Of course, and you should have it.
All right, take care.
Thanks very much.
Finally, I feel
History
vindicated.
made.
Yes,
Right
you heard
here.
it here, TWiT Army.
All right, so we're going to head up. It's probably not going to be nearly as interesting as you've seen so far. We're going to go up and around the corner, but then we're going to come down the escalators, head right into the hall. That's going to be interesting.
Yes. So you're seeing the non-glamorous how do we get there part of the show.
Coming up from the mezzanine. Now, it is sort of interesting around the corner. This is the entryway. This is where you register. This is where you get your badges, volunteer area. So if you were to come to WonderCon, this is how you'd get into the show. And I got to have my badge out. If
Why aren't you wearing your badge?
You know,
You're too cool?
it's in the way.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right, we're going to get on the escalator here and go
I
down.
am always tempted to go up to the security guards and ask them what they're dressed up as.
Why don't you?
Because they're security guards.
The worst that's going to happen is they just don't laugh.
Move along, sir.
This is, I can't stress enough how packed this hall is. Tom and I have walked the floor already just to kind of make sure that we knew what not to miss once we went live with you folks. So it's going to be a little crazy in there. If you're claustrophobic, be glad you're not us.
Now, back behind us are the rooms where they have the panels and the stars will come and talk. We're going to head straight into the hall, though.
We're going into the thick of it.
Into the meat
Hold on to your
of WonderCon.
cosplay hats.
And there's a lot of meat. So, here's the big difference between Comic-Con and WonderCon right here. Off to the right, a place to buy comics immediately when you walk into the floor.
But no, because you were saying at Comic-Con, which we will also be covering later in the year, that the actual comic buying area is very small. It's sort of been taken over by movies.
It's probably as big or bigger than the area here. Let's head this way.
Let's go this way.
But,
all right.
But it's it feels like it is a much smaller percentage of the floor space.
Well, Comic-Con is
WonderCon
sort of like
Comic-Con without Hollywood.
Would you say Comic-Con is kind of the CES of comic book? And
Yes,
it's so big.
absolutely.
You
And it
can't
keeps
really-
getting bigger and bigger, and you can't, it doesn't even fit in one convention
And every
center.
year people say, I don't know, it's
Right.
almost too big, but they
And
keep coming back.
San Diego has worked really hard to keep them there because they want to move to a place that's bigger. San Diego has agreed to expand the convention center. Here in WonderCon, what's interesting is you can see how crowded it is getting in here. They actually moved it from 2 halls in the Moscone Convention Center into 1 hall
And
this
that's
year.
some folks, not everybody, but some folks have complained that it's too crowded because it's nice to be all in one place. I think
Right,
that there's
because
something
then nobody
to that.
gets left out because nobody went over to the other hall.
And there's not a cooler hall than the other. At the same time, you cram a lot of stuff in here. Tom, you know a little bit more about rare comics than I do.
That's to say almost nothing.
Well, so we know where we stand. This booth here is Rare Comics, Marvel, Fiction House, DC. These are all names that are familiar to me.
Sure.
If I was to pick up, I don't know, like the first Superman, just to start my collection, would I find something like that here?
No. You're not going to find the first Superman here. I know you want to start at the beginning,
I do.
and that's admirable.
It just seems like a good place. Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Get a good classic under my belt, and then I'll move out from there. Apparently, I would need millions and millions of dollars
You would
to
need
do so.
several $1 million to
bad.
get Action Comics 1. You could find the first of the reboot Superman from a couple of years ago, maybe, and do something like that.
Great. Well, I don't know. Maybe I ought to rethink my strategy.
You don't want to ask them if they have Action Comics 1?
I think they would. I would say they'd laugh, but I don't think they'd even do that.
They probably just ignore you.
Shall we
let's
move
move
along
along.
and see what else there is to see?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's make our way back to the Game of Thrones booth. We did say this is sort of Comic-Con without Hollywood, but HBO is here because the Game of Thrones series, based on George R.R. Martin's Songs of Ice and Fire series, kicks off April 17th. And so they're here with a throne made of swords from the book, from the series.
You may have seen people have been tweeting out pictures where you can actually get your picture taken on the Game of Thrones.
On the throne.
It looks pretty cool.
Game of Thrones. So
Actually,
make our way back
you
that direction.
were not super impressed by the throne.
It looked a little cheap, I have to say.
Yeah?
No, I thought it's
Tough crowd.
supposed to be like all the swords of the vanquished enemies melted down into a very uncomfortable place to sit.
But it looked a little plasticky.
This looked a little comfy.
Yeah.
A little comfy for my taste. As we make our way back there, you're going to see tons of toy booths.
We weren't kidding about the crowds. Now you
people
see what's
selling-
going on here. We got an
Look at this,
Angry
we got-
Bird shirt, so it's not all comics.
We've
It's
got
also
old
apps.
NES games.
Old NES. See,
Collectible
This is like
NES
being
games.
in Akihabara.
$20 for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
What were they back in the day?
Probably more expensive.
You
than-
think? I
think
don't
they're
remember.
like 30.
Maybe $20.
That's a bargain.
I don't really remember. I do have my old Nintendo system though. Can't throw that thing out.
So here, you want to ask them about Action Comics 1?
No. No, I don't.
Again, this is, like we said, the difference between this and Comic-Con, much more focus on comics.
Right.
It's not entirely 100% on comics, but it is focused on that.
For anyone who
course,
thinks,
t-shirts.
well, what's the main goal of WonderCon? It's a lot of everything. I mean, there's a lot of stuff for sale. There's you get T-shirts, you get old Nintendo games. You can obviously pick up comics, rare and otherwise. I mean, we've got very affordable X-Men $2 here. Jewelry. It is a little of everything. A shirt that says free hugs. Apparently they're available here.
And Hackworth
And
Ticklebottom.
Ticklebottom.
This is obviously a really great place to buy your steampunk outfit.
Love it.
They do some
Wonderful.
custom work. They've got all of the stuff you would
Steampunk
want.
pins.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
Hey there. Okay. We're streaming live right now on TWiT network, twit.tv. So you got some good steampunk stuff here, it looks like. Yeah. Is he getting prepared? Right. Hello. How's it going? I'm Tom.
Tom, nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Brayton.
Brayton. And what's I tried to pronounce the name of the booth, but I want to see if I got it right.
Actually, the name of the booth is Legendary Costume Works.
Yeah, I got it wrong.
That's okay. But yeah, you're probably trying to pronounce the names of the sign, which is Hackworth and Ticklebottom.
Okay.
So
I did a passable job.
Ticklebottom.
It is nice to meet you, Ticklebottom. Nice to meet you, Hackworth. And what you're doing is some cool steampunk stuff. Most of the folks who watch us know what steampunk is, but for those who don't, kind of explain what's going on.
Excuse me. Steampunk is basically like the simplest way I could say it is like Victorian futuristic. So if you could imagine like kind of an alternate world, if you will, where, like say 19th century Victorian type of era, lots of steam power, but usually there's something added, something more, whether it's like kind of some sort of an alien power or something that's throws it more in it's kind of a futuristic manner. The writings of Jules Verne, H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. The aesthetic is always lots of like earth tone brown leathers, top hats, bowlers, goggles, because the goggles kind of signify the inventiveness and the adventure. You think about when they were inventing all the steam powered vehicles, and you have to have your goggles to protect yourself. But
Pretty, right?
Exactly. The funny thing with steampunk is nobody actually wears the goggles on their face. They're kind of more on the hat.
So see, I'm a noob, a steampunk noob.
But it looks cool.
Well, I don't know.
You look quite fetching, madam.
Thank you. I feel it.
Oh, here you go. There we go. You need to.
Oh, okay.
You must
I got
accessorize,
it.
so-
Let's do it. Show me how to steampunk.
There we go. So
All
you
right.
got the steampunk going, and then the goggles actually
All right.
go on the hat.
Oh, this is neat.
Now we're talking.
See? There
Now
we
you
go.
got it together.
And it's Steampunk 101.
What do you guys think? I'm into it. Tom,
Right on.
Now you're dressed up.
I've never felt better.
You shouldn't.
Another fun thing with steampunk is gadgets and weaponry and so forth.
Cool.
Like you see, like here we have what we call one of our steampunk boarding pistols. So it's kind of got that line of like the old flintlock, old cap and ball guns, but with sort of a futuristic bent with scopes and of course there's always all the artistry that the Victorian age is known for, scroll work and things of that nature.
How long would it take to make something like this?
It varies. I mean, for an accomplished, just for someone tinkering their first time, they might spend a week on it, at nights after work. But it's a passion project. It's their own. These are actually made by a good friend of ours in New York, Bob Yanniconi of Advanced Light Weaponry. He does incredible lightsaber type weapons as well. And he's an accomplished artist. So, he can bang these things out, pretty fast.
And is that it's all metal work there?
Yeah, this is all metal. And this is another one, granted. This one isn't so much purely steampunk, and I know probably a lot of the viewers at home are going, I know what that is. That's Han Solo's gun, which this is not actually Han Solo's gun.
Because that would be a licensing problem.
Exactly. This is our smuggler's weapon. So, and this is also all metal construction and hand-painted and weathered, and we actually do these ourselves here at Legendary Costume Works. And, it's a thing where we're putting these out, and so, we might do a batch of them, and over a week we might be able to get a half dozen together. So, but your average, person kind of tinkering, making their own thing, it just depends, it might take them a night or two or a week after hours,
And how much do these sell for?
Let's see, right around the price mark. Let's see, this one goes for $275 on our website, which is actually, it's a site where we do sell a lot of Star Wars inspired items called, if I can say, Lightspeed Imports, and that's hooked up with our Legendary Costume Works site. And this sells for $275, but for here at the show, special, only $25 off the show, off the website price. So that makes it $250 for a special at the show. And this one also goes for about $250.
Wow, beautiful stuff.
Oh, thank you so much.
Really nice.
Our big thing is custom leather too. We do holsters and belts and gear. So, like what we call our ether sleeves, a lot of the costuming, the base stuff is, you can even go to a thrift store and find shirts that will work for the Victorian thing, but, to steampunk it up, the hat, the goggles, some straps and leather pouches, and you're there. It's all about the accessories.
Very cool.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you so much for taking
Thank
the time.
you.
This is great stuff. Do you have a
Lovely.
website? What
Thank
was the
you.
website again?
Our website is legendarycostumeworks.com, and then our Lightspeed Import store is linked from that site. We're also on Facebook, so we do stuff for TV and film as well. And on Facebook, we update that, the Facebook page, Legendary Costume Works. We were on Castle, ABC's Castle. They did a steampunk episode. In fact, a lot of the stuff we're selling in the booth at this con was rented for that show. So it's a lot of it's movie props.
Great.
Did Nathan Fillion touch any of it?
Yes, he actually, he did. He touched us, and it was good for us too.
You are all too pretty to die in that picture.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's
We're just a
fantastic.
bunch of big damn heroes around here.
Exactly. Thanks so much for talking to us. Cheers. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Hey, nice to meet you.
And thanks
All
for
right.
dressing me.
Now you got your costume idea.
That's right. That's right. All right, we're back into the fray. Jeff,
The
try
press.
to keep up if you can. If you
Well, he has
dare.
an implement of destruction that he can use to his
That's true.
advantage to just threaten people out of his way.
Well, he just moves left and
How
the
cool is
live
that
view will hit
steampunk
somebody.
stuff, especially that Han Solo-like weapon? I mean, that I don't know if you
You know,
can see it on the camera, but that was detailed metal work. There was no plastic
I
in there, and it looked right.
thought it was going to retail for a lot more.
Me too. I was thinking close to 1,000.
I was 500. I wouldn't have flinched. For somebody who's interested in having a Han Solo inspired weapon, that was pretty awesome. All right,
let's take
so
should we go
we're
Game
gonna
of
go-
Thrones
yeah, we're
word?
gonna go Game of Thrones. For anyone who missed my tweet from earlier, I had to take a break in the ladies' room. Tom, you already know the story.
Oh, yes.
And who was in there but Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Now,
And
this
it
is
really was her. It
and-
wasn't like a person dressed up as Elvira.
I guess that space is so after you. You can be in the show now. Space was so difficult to find that she had to use the public restroom, right?
I'm not really sure what the deal is. I mean, she's here signing autographs. She's got a booth. And obviously Elvira's a friend to many. But, yeah, she was just in the ladies' room at the mirror doing her makeup. And people kept saying, "Is it really you?" And she kept saying, "Yeah, it's really me.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my makeup
Elvira,
on.
just trying to get ready." You know how
We got
do
a
it.
Capcom booth showing off Marvel vs. Capcom. I guess is somebody playing that? They got a live demo?
It doesn't... Yeah, I think people are just watching. Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, there they are. There are
this
people
is
playing over
probably-
there. One
yeah.
of the games is being fed out to the right.
Maybe let's see what's going on over here. Oh, there are a bunch of different games that people are playing.
So another thing you can do at WonderCon, play video games.
Well, thank goodness we finally found a place to play a video game. You know,
Yeah. Well, you can play
A real
new
lost
video
art.
games. Games that haven't been released yet.
you can tell these people have played a game or two
Yeah.
in
This
their
is
times.
Marvel vs. Capcom: Fate of Two Worlds, coming in spring 2011.
Love those retro arcade consoles. All right, shall we Game of Thrones it?
Let's do.
Let's do it. We're moving.
There are pandas in front of us, though.
Where?
Are you a panda fan?
Totally.
That whole booth is for
pandas!
you.
Okay, we're here, right? We gotta say
Might as well
hi to
stop
the
and say
panda
hey.
folks. You know, on a
So-
recent episode of iPad Today, Leo introduced me to Land a Panda.
Oh, yes.
Very addictive game. Very addictive game. Now we're kind of on the side here, so we've got cute a panda cleaning the toilet. Sure.
Aww.
You know, you don't see that every day. Another panda's taking a picture
But
of
the
him.
toilet has to be cleaned.
Well, who's going to clean it if it isn't the panda? We've got really neat sort of ninja panda artwork. God, I love this. I love that. That is so cute. Proceeds going to the relief effort in Japan. So what's not to like? Sorry about that. No
Sarah
problem.
is awestruck.
Hey, panda people. Hi. What's the name of your company?
PMBQ Studios,
And where are you based out of?
San Jose.
So you're local. Is this your first WonderCon, or have you been here before?
This is my 7th year, actually.
7th year. Cool. And what's the general? Is it just anything panda goes, or is there a certain theme that we're going for here?
Actually, I'm inspired by Japanese manga, so I used to draw comics and with normal people, along with bears and pandas, and I've also done panda T-shirt designs, and then it's just the panda T-shirts have just been my niche.
So this is all stuff that you actually draw?
Yes.
It's beautiful stuff. So you started with comic books, and then what? You just went to print, huh? On
Yep.
T-shirts?
Yeah,
and
these are all self-produced.
This is great. Wow, 7 years strong. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, this is really good stuff. What, like you say, you take your inspiration from manga, but is there a storyline that goes behind the pandas as well?
So actually, a couple years ago, I started a comic called Unemployed Pandas. It's unemployedpandas.com.
Nice.
I have two characters who are very popular, Ninja Panda and Samurai Panda. This is actually before Kung Fu Panda. I also have my own Kung Fu Panda.
Were a little upset when Kung Fu Panda came out?
Slightly, but it helped with the panda awareness.
So it was a trade-off.
Yeah, so Unemployed Pandas was the story about Ninja Panda and Samurai Panda getting laid off and finding their new reality. So that's been the story.
Do you still have that story available?
Yes, it's still online, unemployedpandas.com.
Okay,
So you
cool.
guys check it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what?
Was it inspired by the story of a real panda?
Why, yes, it was.
I was afraid of that.
Yes. But,
And how is that panda doing now?
so the two pandas are actually doing better. They're working again,
Oh,
and
that's good.
they also
Very
have another new reality. So the story goes on.
Good,
The pandas are getting work again. Hopefully they're using FreshBooks to handle their invoicing.
The freelancer.
Yes.
So unemployedpandas.com, is that also the place to find your T-shirts online as well, or is there another website?
My main website is pmbq.com, and it links to my T-shirts and my comics.
Okay,
So that's
great.
kind of like the portal.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Beautiful
Sarah kind of
artwork.
stopped in her tracks when she saw all of
I'm
this.
a panda fan. I don't know how people can't like pandas, but beautiful artwork, really unique. I love the toilet one. It's just
Awesome.
it's quirky, it's funny, it's great. Well, best of luck, and I'll have to check out unemployedpandas.com. That sounds like a storyline I'm interested in. Having been unemployed once or twice myself,
And a panda.
and obviously a panda. Yeah. All right. Have
Thanks
fun.
a lot. Have a
Thank
good show.
you. Of course, the ugly dolls.
And
Who doesn't like the ugly dolls? Techzilla set has ugly dolls of their own
Oh,
for
yeah,
anybody who
that's
watches
true.
Techzilla as well.
But I was going to say, like, that is one of the cool things of coming to WonderCon. And you can find that at Comic-Con, but it's harder, where you get a small proprietor making something really cool. You can sit and talk to them.
Right.
It's
Well,
awesome.
Her story, and I stupidly didn't get her name, is one. She's an artist.
Yeah.
She's local. She's very talented, and she's had some success selling her wares.
And we'll see in the artist gallery on the other end of the
we go this
conference
way?
hall that there are literally hundreds of artists here. Independent artists, you'll see. There's Stan Lee will be signing here at some point, but there are tons of artists out here that are just getting started, and this is where you find your diamond in the rough, or that thing that may never become hugely popular but speaks to you,
Right.
and it really is your thing.
Now, for anybody who's an exhibitor here, obviously the Panda booth, for example, is in a really good spot because you're near a lot of big companies. You got the HBO booth just down the way. She's not over with all the other independent artists.
Right.
Do
I
you
think
pay
because-
more, or is it because you've been here
It's by
a number
it's
of
by
years?
type of thing. So if you see, we're in the toy area right
I
now.
see.
There's all toys. Over there, you're near a lot of shirts, and
Yeah.
collectibles like that. I think it's because she had moved on from the story to selling more T-shirt oriented stuff.
The Star Trek area? Wonderful.
Wait, how old is that?
It looks old.
It's only $15. Can't be that old.
Here's a classic communicator. It's $60. I mean, this is good stuff. We've got some Star Trek sound effects going on here. Joe Montana, just going back for a pass, like he does.
Now, one thing that just got signed recently was the ability to stream Star Trek on Netflix.
Ooh.
CBS and Netflix came to an arrangement, so the old episodes of Star Trek can now stream on Netflix.
Now, Netflix that's something that a lot of people might not.
Sponsoring us.
Well, not only are they sponsoring us, but they do a lot of TV series, and people I think
They
associate
just signed
Netflix with
Glee
movies
as well. Yeah.
Right, Twin Peaks. Now you can watch the series from the beginning on Netflix streaming. That is amazing. I mean, for anybody who hasn't watched Twin Peaks in the past, I mean that's probably the easiest way to do it. Even though I just bought the gold package from Amazon, but yeah, Netflix is.
Yeah.
It's movies, it's TV shows. You can still get the DVDs in the mail. They've not gone to streaming exclusively. That's just another option.
Yeah.
And you can stream to your PC or your Apple TV.
Or you hook up a Roku box or a
that.
PS3, a Wii, an Xbox. If you already have those, you already have the ability to stream Netflix onto your TV right there.
I mean, they're really ahead of the pack because they make it so easy to use them.
Anyway, the reason we're telling you this is they are a sponsor of our coverage of WonderCon, and of course you can go to netflix.com/twit. If you sign up there, we get credit for it, and it helps us to bring you more coverage like this.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking about signing up for Netflix, even for just the streaming-only plan, check it out, netflix.com/twit.
And if you're not sure if Netflix is right for you, if you sign up now, you get 30 days free. So
Yeah.
you can check it out.
Take a month on Sarah.
Watch a bunch of movies.
She'll pay for it
Get
for
into
all
the
of you.
Twin Peaks series. If you like scary things that make you not sleep at night, I recommend that show highly. Netflix is great. We love them, and we thank them for their sponsorship.
Netflix.com/twit. Okay.
All right, now
Onward.
we keep getting we keep getting sucked into booths, but we're
Yeah.
still walking towards Game of Thrones.
Closer and closer we get. Also, Green Lantern booth over
Ah,
here.
yes,
So there
Green
is
Lantern.
this is the Hollywood ghetto over here in this corner.
You know,
right
Tom, many of the movies that are on in our summer movie draft are
Yes.
represented here at WonderCon.
There is a panel going on right now for Priest. You have that movie.
Priest is
and-
one of my movies. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, on a joint episodes of Frame Rate and NSFW, 2 other prestigious shows on the TWiT network. Tom, myself, Brian Brushwood, and Justin Robert Young all participated in a summer movie draft, many of which are comic themed.
Yes, I got X-Men.
I got Priest, Hangover 2.
You also got that Bride movie.
Bridesmaids,
Yes,
which is
that
going to
one.
be a hit, and I have Harry Potter, so hard to beat. Hard to beat.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't bid up more on Harry Potter.
Yeah,
That was
I don't
stupid
either,
of me.
but your
who
loss
has
is
Green
my
Lantern,
game.
though? Is it Justin? I can't remember, but we've got a big Green Lantern booth
I think
here.
it might be Justin, yes.
And as you can see, there's a lot of DC stuff. I think this is also the DC booth. You see a lot of DC collectibles
So
here as well.
this Green Lantern booth it's more about the franchise in general. It's not.
Yes, this isn't
it's
just
not
for the movie,
Green
although they've got a
Lantern.
huge
Of
you know,
course,
thing.
well, because that's their
advertising, yeah.
big thing coming out, right? So these are collectibles.
Oh, this is MaddieCollector.com's booth. These are Maddie Collector figurines.
Mm-hmm. Now I guess this would be available at Walmart, or I wouldn't say that.
Yes, these are less. These aren't old, like used collectibles, old things. These are new things that you can buy either here or in stores.
Right.
In fact, yeah, Superman coming Walmart from the Universal Crime Syndicate, the Universal Crime Syndicate Superman.
The
Summer
DC
2011.
Universe booth seems like a nice place to just sort of sit and relax. It's almost like
Yeah.
VIP.
All right,
They've got the plush carpet.
here we
and the leather
go.
chairs.
Around the corner.
All right. Game of Thrones.
Jeff Stewart, take a look at the Throne of Swords.
Now this
and
is
tell me that doesn't look like it was made by Mattel.
Anybody who have maybe just joining us may not have heard Tom say that he thought the throne looked a little chintzy.
You can't. The swords aren't even individual. That's like pressed out of plastic.
I don't think those are actually swords.
Well, that's another.
I think it's made of paper mache, is what I think. So what's going on here is that you can sit on the Game of Thrones, of course,
And rub your beard.
make kind of a cool face, and then they're actually printing out pictures that are actually well lit. I mean, when you look at it, out of context, it looks a little silly, like, we're in front of a
and I
weird
have to
panel
admit,
and
the
some.
throne looks pretty good in the picture.
It does look pretty
It
good
shows
in the
well
picture.
on film.
Now, I don't know if it costs anything to get your picture printed out, but maybe we'll do that later.
Yeah, well, the line's
That could
going
be
around
kinda
the corner
fun.
there, so we'll swing by that way.
Yeah, we're not going to cut in line. That would be an abusive.
You should totally cut in line. Do
I
you know who I am?
Yeah, right.
I'm Natalie Portman's body double. Let me cut in line.
Winning friends. Winning friends
Oh, yeah,
at
the line got
WonderCon.
longer since the last time
Oh, man,
we were
should
here.
have done it when we had the chance
We should've.
earlier. Now, what time did WonderCon open today? Because this is somewhat late in the day.
Yeah.
For
It's
anybody who
still
wanted to
kicking.
hit it
Yeah.
early in the morning, the crowds certainly haven't subsided.
No,
I'm
in
not
fact,
sure
they've
what it
gotten
was
bigger
like
and
first
bigger.
thing in the morning here, but
Should we go talk to some people in line waiting for Game of Thrones?
sure.
All right, let's do it.
Why not?
Hi
there.
I saw them pushing you towards us, so I thought we'd come over and say hello. So you're waiting in line to be on the throne?
Yes.
Now, first of all, who are you dressed as?
Harley Quinn.
Ah, yes, very good. And tell folks why you're dressed as Harley Quinn.
She's one of my favorite supervillains. She's from Batman, the Joker's sidekick and girlfriend.
Awesome. Now, how long does it take to get into Harley Quinn? Some of this looks rubbery and tight.
It took me about an hour to get everything on and situated, and then probably about another 20 minutes to do hair and makeup.
Hey, hour and 20. That's dedication.
Now, when you walk into WonderCon, do they give you any grief about holding these guns?
They didn't. I think because they're pretty obviously fake. They're spray painted and rubberized, so they didn't give me any grief.
They understand.
Yes.
Now, are you also a George R. R. Martin fan?
Yes.
Okay. So you're excited about April 17th?
Yes.
What's the favorite thing you like about the books? And first of all, have you read them all the way up?
I haven't read them all.
Okay, which ones have you read?
Actually, I was just a fan of the Batman cartoons as a kid, so that's where I learned of Harley Quinn. Yes.
And then Game of Thrones, you've read those books?
I have not yet.
No, okay. So you're just going to be waiting for the series to come onto HBO. I don't want to lose your place in line, so come this. All right, well, cool. Thank you so much for talking to us. It was really
Wonderful
nice to meet you.
outfit. Enjoy your time at WonderCon, and thanks for letting us talk to you.
Cheers.
Wow, the Game of Thrones is the throne is a popular item.
Yeah, let's.
Everyone likes their picture taken.
So You want to take a look at the costume here. This is whose costume is this? Oh, this is Ned Stark. So he is the in charge of Winterfell, and he will come down. Not a big spoiler, but a minor spoiler. He will come down from Winterfell to work as the king's hand. And in Winterfell, it's cold. It's got winter in the name.
He's got a fox
So you
around
need
his
a
neck.
dead fox around your neck to keep you warm.
That looks real. I think it is.
It might actually be but these are the costumes they're using. They're
I don't think that's fake, Tom. I think
whole
that's
9 yards.
actually a fox scarf jacket.
Now the shield, probably fake, but also probably looks really good on camera.
I don't know. I feel like that looks like a real brushed metal type of a thing going on. No? Let's look behind.
I'm thinking styrofoam.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's got real leather straps, though.
Well, it looks good, and that's what matters. Also,
this is Daenerys Targaryen's
beautiful
black gown. She is the exiled heir to the throne, making her way across the Dothraki Highlands later in the series.
As you can
and
tell,
that's not much to be wearing in the Dothraki Highlands, I gotta say.
Well, she's kind of a badass, so she doesn't need to wear much. The face also, not a lot of emphasis on the face.
Not her real face.
That's a stand-in.
That's
her body double.
All right, yeah, we've got a couple more costumes in there, but we've got more of the show floor to get to before we're out of here.
That's true.
Should we plow onwards? Toys, and more
toys. So many toys. I mean, there's a toy for everybody. You got $1, you can buy yourself Scarface in your pocket.
Yeah.
And he probably says things like,
I'm walking here.
Who put this thing together? Things like that.
Right. There's also a Reservoir Dogs one, too.
And a reservoir. I'm not going to press any of those buttons.
Oh, watch out, Monarch.
Whoop.
Minion.
He's got wings. A Hulk piggy bank. Everyone needs to save money. What
and
better
then later
way?
You can smash it.
Right. It would be hard to smash. It's very, very thick plastic. Spider-Man as well. Yeah, little toys for the little ones. Nice and plushy.
Little dark Spider-Man.
Jeff, he has small children. They might enjoy a little Spider-Man toy.
We have Pez.
We've got Pez.
All right,
We've
hold
got
on.
Roger Chang.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Hey, look.
Well, hold on. I just want to see. What do you think? Yeah?
Jeff, what do you think?
Is that
Dead ringer, right?
the same?
I'm not wearing my buns, but
Right.
it's
Well, she means the hair ones.
right. There are other buns I can't take
Yeah.
off.
that'd be hard. Roger Chang, come
Roger
here.
Chang, come on over here. How
How's
the
it
heck
going?
are you? Roger Chang from Revision 3?
Yes, Revision 3. Techzilla at techzilla.com.
Now, is Texilla or Revision 3 covering the con, or are you just here on your own?
I am here on my own. I've been here since, I think, 2000.
You haven't left the
You
floor.
mean you've been
huh?
coming every year,
Yes, I've
or
been coming
you've been
every
in the
year.
hall?
Both.
What time the hall open?
I think the hall opened at, I would say 10.
Is it surprise you how crowded it is?
Yes,
because
very crowded.
in previous years there were sometimes multiple halls. We're all in one hall now today.
No, it's always been in one hall. They've used the North Hall before, and they also have tried using West Moscone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just like this area better because they have all small rooms off to the side.
Does it seem more crowded this year than it has in years past?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're trying to drum up more foot traffic in order to.
But I mean, who's they? I mean, people
The
come because
organizers.
they want to come, right?
Well, the organizers, but people come because of the billing, like special guests, panels, and stuff like that. And there's been such a big buzz with San Diego Comic-Con, which is run by the same people who run WonderCon, that they've been trying to drum up the same sort of audience, or at least a number of people to come and watch. Because the more they can get that, the more they can convince big studios and stuff to kind of have their stars come over and flog a new movie or TV series.
Speaking of stars, is there anybody, I mean, when you think of WonderCon as sort of the 3-day festival, is there any one panel or star that everyone thinks is the biggest draw this year?
I think that was yesterday with Ryan Reynolds and the Green Lantern movie.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, there was quite the crowd. In fact, I stood in line half an hour, didn't get it.
You didn't get in?
No.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Yes, it did.
Also, Neil Gaiman is here tomorrow.
Neil Gaiman is here tomorrow. If you're into Doctor Who, he's on a 3-person panel. I think we'll be talking about the episode of Doctor Who he wrote this season.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to keep on trucking.
If there's one thing we should see, and
Yeah.
as we head that way, what do you think should be on the show floor?
Did you see the Game of Thrones throne?
We
Yeah,
just
just came
passed
from
it.
there.
That's where we came.
I'm going to get my picture on the throne later. Tom doesn't want to do it because he doesn't like fun things.
No, I hate fun.
I would say head out to the autograph file.
Yeah?
I would definitely say that. It's
You know,
I know you're a
saw
big fan
Elvira
of
in the
Cindy
bathroom
Morgan.
earlier.
Yes, I am a big fan of Cindy Morgan. You
Are
have no
you?
idea who Cindy Morgan is.
I do know who Cindy Morgan is. She's from Tron.
Yes, the
Yes,
first Tron, yeah.
That's right.
All right.
You know, I know a thing or two about Tron, Roger.
Just
I
wondering.
love. You don't know who Cindy Morgan is.
What?
Roger's being modest. He actually knows quite a bit about all of this, more than he's letting on. Tom says he's the guy who knows what all the cosplay costumes are.
Not all, most.
But some of them can be obscure to the undiscerning eye.
Yes. But, you know, if you have a hankering for pop culture and comics or sci-fi and fantasy, I mean, it's a great place to spend a weekend.
Before we let you
All
go, what's the difference between WonderCon and Comic-Con? Is it just that it's smaller in a different location, or is there something else that makes this unique?
I think because it's smaller, things tend to be a lot more intimate, and you don't have the huge wall between a lot of the celebrities that you do in San Diego. Like I just came out of a panel with Rainn Wilson from The Office, who's flogging Super, and it was in a very very laid back atmosphere. It didn't have the sense of publicists on either side of him trying to push the movie or anything like that. And it's kind of cool because it's in San Diego, because it's so high profile, that a lot of studios take a lot more of a hands-on approach, which may be good or bad depending on what side of the seat you're sitting on.
It's like you could think of it as a smaller film festival. Yeah. It's just smaller in scale. It's a little more laid back. You have more access to people that you admire.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Roger. Well, enjoy the rest of your WonderCon experience. I'm sure we'll see you around.
Yeah.
We're going to go get intimate with the con.
Nothing feels more intimate than this, Tom. I don't know about you, but there's a very intimate feel
Yeah,
to
actually,
this big hall filled with
it
strangers.
is pretty intimate. Sometimes unnecessarily so.
Sometimes they're, yes, you say, hands down, sir. Hands at your sides.
Those aren't pillows. The Nintendo 3DS is here, oddly enough. That was something you'd be more likely to see at E3.
Well,
But
again,
I
I
think
think
that,
that
out, so.
goes to show you that people, as WonderCon continues to grow, and it's 25 years strong now, companies feel like they should be represented.
Yeah, this is definitely a target market for them. Folks who are into comics, folks who are into movies, sci-fi, fantasy. They want them buying their 3DS. It's another question whether they will or not. But, I mean, you just saw there was a kid with a Pokemon T-shirt on walking by, and the Nintendo representative was like, hey, Pokemon fan, want some stickers?
Uh-huh.
Get them while they're young.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems to fit in quite well here.
And they got a lot of stations up. Obviously, every single one of them is taken. But folks are playing the 3DS back here in this area. Now, that was the DS that we passed right there. This is where the 3D action is happening.
There appears to be some sort of a caveman fight going on just up the way. Shall we check it out?
That's also in 3D.
Yeah, this is true 3D, Tom. This is
Maybe
not some
somebody in the
simulated
chat room
3D.
could identify what they are enacting here.
It's almost a bit of a choreographed type of dance that's going on here. I think they're enjoying
Grab him by the
themselves.
badge.
Round of applause for these gentlemen.
Yay. Well, that was neat. Good stuff.
I don't know who won.
I think it was a draw.
Yeah?
I think it was a draw. Yeah.
So, hi, we're streaming live on the internet. Can we talk to you? What just happened here?
Well, that was a fight between a wild wolf and a wild man.
Who won?
Wild man on the left, wild wolf on the right. Yeah, okay. And, yeah.
Well, I think it was up to a draw. I'll let the people at home decide. Live on the internet. That's you at TWiT. Atta boy. Atta girl. So, my name is Rupert Redenhager. What are you guys enjoying so much about WonderCon?
Well, we are here pretty much to bring everybody who can't be here into WonderCon itself, and so we're kind of just absorbing the overall experience like everybody else, and we get to talk to interesting folks like you.
Absolutely. I am honored to be here and be a part of this extravaganza. My mother would be proud. You know, back in the day, Camp Wakanda, we used to have talks around the campfire about WonderCon, so I had to go.
How did you first hear about it?
I first heard about it from my friend Nigel Stainwick, and we were here last year when Kevin Smith's fat ass was around, and I asked everyone what was on the menu. Got to eat that and feed that big boy.
How did you fly out here?
I flew in on a Griffin.
Did you have to pay extra for a second seat?
Tax is tough in the sky, so the parking is pretty intense up there. But we managed. We're on the 5th floor, right above Magic Carpet. Aladdin's down there. Sinbad.
Wonderful.
So.
That's pretty swank.
Yeah, we're having a great time here, and I hope everyone is having a great time with us back at home.
We did. We loved the fight. I'm glad that no one was too badly injured.
No one was injured in that. Apparently, the Wolfman, though, looks like he's busting a sweat under there or something. I don't know. What's going on? Now, you guys were here yesterday for Ryan Reynolds.
No, we missed Ryan. We heard that was the big thing.
Now, let me ask you, was he really tan?
I didn't see him.
I don't know. What's up with that. It's kind of getting too much. I want a little pasty in my Green Hornet.
Well, they can do spray-on paste.
That would be a great idea. I think so.
If an actor is actually too tan, you could just kind of
you
could pale him up.
Take it down a notch. Yeah, pale me.
Pastier the better.
Spray pale.
Spray pale. That's for witches and Wiccan alike. All the goth kids go crazy over that. You know,
Big test market.
Big test market. I think it's just called playing online games 27 hours a week. But a lot of people like to do that. I'm not saying it's bad. Yeah. You can always tell when someone has that little red mark on their elbow. You're like, oh, is that? Yeah. I know you. Yeah. Gold farmer.
Stop stealing my characters. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Wonderful.
And you're
wonderful stuff.
And well fought. Well
yes,
fought.
Good work.
So do you think you won that?
I couldn't say from a monstrous aspect. When it comes to monsters and humans, there can always be different results of a fight. Never known when. Sometimes the monsters may win. Sometimes the humans may win as well. Depending on which creature is smarter, who is more brighter. One person makes a mistake, whether it's the monster or the human, either one could be the victor of the battle. Other than that, I have to say from my aspect, I guess the fight was a draw. Well, everybody both using skills, their brains and their skills, trying to do whatever they can to be the victor of the fight.
So you're saying it's a journey?
Yeah, a good journey, yeah. Win or lose, doesn't matter for either one.
Is the Wolfman warm under the fur?
It's nice and warm. Sometimes if it's in a cold place, anytime during any masquerade event, inside of a building if it's cold, then yes, it could be warm. Keep you from getting the cold. But I don't think that monsters can get sick or catch any cold, so eventually no monster is going to have to worry about having to catching a flu or any type of cold of sickness.
It's the hostile environment theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only the strong survive.
Give us if you could put your other face down and say hello to the folks out there so they could see your true nature.
See, when he's a wolf, they don't talk because he's a wolf.
No, wolf can't talk.
They sniff mics. You might eat your mic.
Yeah.
He's in character now, Tom, so I think you should be careful, actually.
Right.
In fact, this might get weird.
Watch the camera, Jeff. Watch
the camera.
Talon marks. Talon marks.
Bail out.
All right.
Bail out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wolfman.
Look, wild man. Now, he said it was a draw. Do you think you won?
I think I won it fair and square.
You whooped his ass.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Pick a side. We're at war. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Now, do wild men usually wear sunglasses?
Yes, he does. He does. He's pretty wild like that.
Well, and at night?
And at night.
So you kind of Corey Hart it.
Oh, yes, definitely.
His future is bright.
Yeah.
Right. Bright future indeed.
Are you going to stay wild?
Oh, yes, definitely stay wild.
All right. Cheers, man. Have a good show. All right.
Stay wild.
It's actually on a website right now.
We're
We're streaming
right
live.
now. TWiT.tv.
Ask Lynn
She's
right
got
there.
a card
She
for you.
can give you.
I love that. I won't remember. TWiT.tv.
TWiT.tv. Look, I'm a wolf.
Hard to remember.
Hey, how's it
Hi.
going?
How's it going? What's your name?
Day at work.
What's
I'm
your
Dave.
name? Dave. We're streaming live.
I know. I figured. I was hoping I wouldn't end up on the live stream. But
Oh, why
You
not?
wouldn't end up?
yeah, I was. I wasn't ready for TV today.
No, you look
Or,
great.
Thank you.
Do you think there's anyone who also watches TWiT that might be watching you now?
No, because most everyone that I know that would watch TWiT is here now. I've seen them all around here today. So, no, but they might see it later if it's up on later.
Oh, this is neat. Gosh, you could like belly slam and never even hurt yourself. So, what? Why are you here at WonderCon? Is there a certain draw, or are you just kind of taking it all in?
I'm just kind of taking it all in. I'm here probably for the like most people are, just to check everything out and see what's of interest here.
Have you bought anything?
Oh, I bought all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. What do you got here?
Tomorrow I'm gonna be like, why the hell did I buy this stuff? But this is a Star Wars movie poster that I kind of always thought would be cool to have up in my home office.
Yeah. So the original movie,
the original Star Wars movie,
A New Hope, as it was later dubbed.
That's right. That's right.
So is it true that everything kind of goes on sale tomorrow? So tomorrow's the day to buy stuff?
I don't know. I've never stayed 3 days here, so I don't really know. Normally I just come one day and check it out the first or second day. So
this is that you weren't here yesterday. This is your day.
Not, because that'd be a bummer. That's right. Today is my day.
Cool.
So.
And is this your first WonderCon? Something tells me it's not.
No, it's not my first WonderCon. I've come the past few years, 2 or 3 years. So this is like my third one.
Is there any booth or area that Tom and I just can't miss?
Well, actually, the 3DS one kind of surprised me because I've heard people talk about the 3DS and I wasn't that excited about it until I actually went and saw one, and they were actually quite impressive little things. I might get one, even though my son over here, he wasn't much impressed by them.
No.
But I'm gonna get one for me.
Well, he plays Minecraft though. He's more serious than 3DS.
Yeah, he's way into his Minecraft.
All right, well, enjoy yourself. Have fun at WonderCon. Thanks for talking to us, and thanks for coming up and saying hello.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was good. I've been listening to I listened to you Buzz Out Loud from like episode 3, and
Oh,
TWiT
wow.
from like episode 30.
I didn't even listen to it that much.
Those guys a long time. Huh?
I said I haven't even listened to it that much.
Oh yeah, probably. Not. Well, no, I stopped for a while because it was just I had too many podcasts going on to keep up with everything.
I understand.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah. And so I still really haven't gone out back to Buzz Out Loud, but.
Well,
all the Leo Laporte stuff I've been listening to pretty much since he started it.
well, we really appreciate your support. Thank you,
All right,
and
thanks,
enjoy
Dave.
yourself.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We have Captain America and Phoenix right behind us.
Oh my, they look fit.
Yes.
Very
Quite.
fit. Do you think those are real
Yeah.
muscles?
Do you mind if we say hello?
Hey guys.
So
how's it going?
We obviously recognize you. You're Phoenix and Captain America. Yes. But do you have alternate identities you go under outside of WonderCon?
Oh, outside in real life.
That's up to you. No, we're not forcing it.
Yeah, we don't always walk around dressed like this.
Well, I didn't want to assume anything.
Okay.
What makes you pick Captain America? And tell us a little bit about what you've done to create your costume.
Well, I've always liked Cap since I was a kid, growing up with and everything. So with all the Ultimate Captain America, World War II Captain America, movie Captain America, I wanted to do the classic Captain America, and I commissioned a friend in Australia to do this suit and everything, and he did the hood as well.
Okay.
So.
Wow, it's really well done. It looks pro.
Thanks, I like it. It's been a lot of months waiting for it.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good to have it there. Yeah,
now, did you commission a friend in Australia for these also, or?
That was a friend closer by, but hey, everybody's, what? Some guys can do that and other guys can't. So it's just like, what? I slip into this and I represent a more heroic ideal of a superhero.
What are the bulging muscles made of, if I might ask?
Well, what
made
are your
of muscles.
bulging muscles made out of?
Gee, what a question.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're talking about the costume.
That's a good answer.
Is that what you were talking about? One could have fooled me, It's foam. It's like an upholstery foam.
Breathable?
No.
But you do what you can.
Yeah, what this is, we look at this stuff like it's wearable art. Okay, so what we do for our hobby to represent the character, whether we're visiting children's hospitals or events like this, we do what we can to make it through, to enjoy it. We have a camaraderie. We develop friendships with folks that we would not have otherwise for this hobby. And so, it's all good. We have fun. You know what? We're geeks and we enjoy it. And you know what? And it's a good time. We laugh a lot. We have a lot of fun.
Awesome.
All right.
But now, this costume, you look lovely.
Thank you.
I don't think you have any foam that could even fit underneath.
No, I don't.
So what went into making your costume?
A lot of hours and swimsuit fabric and starving for a couple days before, feeling comfortable to fit in the spandex in front of everybody. So
you have to do like a boxing weigh-in. Like,
Yeah.
will you be able to fit into the costume?
Well, luckily it's pretty forgiving because it's really stretchy. So even though the seams may not be perfect, it doesn't show. But it's more like if I've eaten even anything during the day, it'll show. So I pretty much starve at these
Just like an
things.
outline
Yeah.
of a chicken leg
Yeah.
shows up, like right there.
Yeah.
Well, it's performance art, so.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it for the sacrifice. My feet are killing me. They hurt really bad, but ideal. Like you said, it's totally worth it for our hobby.
Yeah. And now, do you go to other cons as well besides WonderCon?
Yeah.
Do you-
Mostly just comic book conventions, so I'll be at Comic-Con this summer.
So will we.
Excellent. Yeah.
So we'll see you there.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Nice to meet you guys. Have
Enjoy.
a good show.
Enjoy.
Nice to meet you.
Speaking of steampunk,
Oh, do you think that's steampunk? You figured it out yet?
Tom, quit making fun of me. Hi.
This is impressive.
What's your name?
yeah.
I'm Commander Whiskey Neck Triton of Her Majesty's Industry Service.
Wonderful. And you enjoying yourself at WonderCon?
Certainly am.
What have you seen here that's been particularly impressive or surprising?
Yeah, the costuming is excellent this year, and the attendance is by far the best I've seen. Yes.
Now, some folks think it's kind of packed and crowded in here, but you kind of like that?
It's a bit crowded sometimes, but you just move to an area that's not so crowded.
Now, where did you find your collection that you're wearing today?
Putting this together for about 2 years. I started with a costume jacket and added some piping and some epaulets to it, and each year it seems like I add something new, a leg brace, the arm brace, and eventually there'll be nothing left of me.
Do you know Hackworth and Ticklebottom?
I do not.
Oh, they were the first steampunk folks we ran into when we came in. They do a bunch of custom stuff. I didn't know if maybe you
may not know them by their steampunk's names.
Ah, you probably are acquainted with them.
I probably
in
am
some other nom de plume, perhaps. I like this.
Yeah.
What does that do?
Yeah. What is this?
Powers my leg brace, so I'm able to walk.
Oh, okay. Right. So that is your power source.
Yes.
And you need the leg brace. Some sort of injury.
Airship accident.
Ah.
Yes, I've got a bad case of pneumonia.
I hear that's a killer if you don't treat it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can be.
And what about your weapon? It looks pretty intricate.
Boarding pistol, operated by steam, of course. Infrared sighting.
Yes. Wow, that is a beauty.
Design.
Where does so this is a custom. This is a custom. I wouldn't be able to pick something like that up then.
Unless you contacted me directly.
I'll get your number after the stream ends.
All right.
Very own weapon.
She doesn't need any weapons.
Good to meet you.
All right.
Enjoy
Have
yourself.
a great show. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Oh, pardon us. Onward. We should go down to the artist alley. We've been in a lot of the collectors area for most of the show. But there's a lot of original artists. We mentioned them earlier in the show that set up booths there. And you see some really interesting folks doing, sometimes they're big artists. They have big sales. Other times they're small operations, but they're all in the same area. Of course, we should also thank Netflix for helping to bring us, allowing us to bring you the coverage of WonderCon.
I mean, it couldn't be a better fit because Netflix, you are able to rent so many of the movies that are represented here today.
Yeah, you can get them DVDs. Everybody's familiar with that. But not as many people are familiar with the fact that you can stream stuff online to your PC or Mac or even to your television. If you've got an Xbox 360, a Nintendo Wii, or a Sony PS3, you've got the ability to stream Netflix.
That's right.
And you could just look around and point and probably hit something in this place that's inspired by a movie you could stream on Netflix. Like that picture over there reminds me of War of the Worlds. You can stream War of the Worlds live on Netflix tonight if you have it. You just put it in the queue and put it at the top of the queue, press play. We're watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer right now on Netflix, even though we have the DVDs.
Now, why did you decide to do that?
The DVDs are in the back bedroom. We're so lazy. We're like, you know what? It's easier to just use the remote to punch it up on Netflix than to go get the DVD and pull it out of the case. It's nice to have the DVD box set because we have the features and the special behind-the-scenes documentaries if we want to watch that. But if we just want to watch the episodes back through, it's actually much easier on Netflix to just clip from one to the other.
Yeah, Netflix gives you a lot of choices. Streaming and DVDs, it's nice that they offer both. A lot of folks don't realize that you can stream. I have a Sony Bravia that has Netflix capability built in.
Yeah.
I can just log into my Netflix account right from my TV and
You don't have
stream
to do
a
anything.
movie,
Yeah.
and it works like a dream.
Now we should say the reason we're going on about Netflix, they are sponsoring, and you can get it for 30 days free if you don't already have it. Try it out. Try out the streaming plan. 30 days free. Go to netflix.com/twit. When you go to netflix.com/twit, instead of going right to the regular page, it helps to support our coverage of things like WonderCon, like CES, like South by Southwest, all the things that are expensive to fly us all out. This isn't quite as expensive because it's in San Francisco.
It's right in our neck of the woods, but many Comic-Con, for example, will not be because we all got to get ourselves down to San Diego.
Because we, on a Saturday, normally probably, I might be here anyway.
Eileen's here.
Yeah.
She's having fun at all the panels.
Exactly.
So yes, netflix.com/twit is the way to enjoy Netflix. 30 days free. Movies, television shows, series. Something like Buffy is going to take you longer than a weekend to get through, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They've got Twin Peaks on Netflix. I keep talking about that because I'm just a big Twin Peaks fan, but definitely check it out.
Too, actually.
Netflix is it's my favorite. My favorite service. I love them.
Did you see there was an episode of one of those USA Network shows that was an homage to Twin Peaks, and they had a bunch of the people from Twin Peaks as guests.
No.
Yeah.
What show
I've got
is
it on my
this?
DVR. I'll try to figure it out for you.
kidding.
Now, see, this is the other thing you'll see at a place like WonderCon is people in costumes will often be asked to stop and have their picture taken because people just think their costume's cool.
Exactly. It's sort of like, do you think that because the gentleman who just took the picture is not in costume, do you think that it's like a goal to get as many pictures of folks in costume and maybe put it up on a Flickr set?
We were talking to Roger earlier. He does that every con he goes to. He tries to find the coolest costumes and collect pictures of those, and then he puts them up on Flickr.
Now, is there some sort of community that interacts with each other that is, they're just taking the pictures of the folks in costume? And they get to know each other in a whole different way?
Yeah, maybe. That's quite possible.
Why not?
All right. Now we are in Artist Alley. We're in the place where the independent artists come. And
for example,
the final issue of Hot Zombie Chicks, right when I find out it exists.
And
Hi
it
there.
couldn't be a better time. Hi.
We're streaming live. Is it okay if we say hello and talk to you? Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi, Tom. I'm Mike.
Mike, nice to meet you.
Hi.
I was unfamiliar, sadly disappointed. I was unfamiliar with Hot Zombie Chicks until just now, but the final issue?
It's the final issue of Hot Zombie Chicks, yes, and this is the cover.
How did I miss it?
I don't know, because I've been at all the shows for the past 5 years, and you have my booth here. Hot Zombie Chicks started in 2007, so I guess it's 4 years. But,
now, what is it about zombie chicks that makes them particularly hot? I have a friend, actually, who has a lot of zombie tattoos and would definitely consider herself a hot zombie chick.
Okay.
What is it about the zombies that make them special?
Well, I mean, the zombie genre got really huge. I started doing the book like right as it was on the rise. I don't really know what it is. I like the whole zombie thing, and I wanted to do a pinup book of some girl stuff. I wanted to do a zombie book at the same time, so I just threw it together kind of as a joke.
Yeah.
And it worked, so I did, I just kept running with the book.
Wow, that's awesome.
So what are you going to move on to next? Do you have plans?
My next stuff is I've been doing a lot of cover recreations of old like vintage movie posters and Golden Age comic books. So right now that's what I'm working on.
And we were trying to explain to people, because sort of the idea of what we're doing here is we stream this live, so folks who can't make it to WonderCon get a little bit of a sample of what's going on. We've been through all this half of the show. We're just ending up in Artist Alley, but you've got all different kinds of artists here. What kind of stuff can people see when they come through here, and what brings you out over and over again? What do you get out of this?
Well, I mean, there's so many different things. I mean, there's obviously there's zombie chicks. There's my buddy who does the mustache ride. The next booth down is hip-hop comic books, and then so on and on. But I think what brings me out is just the way you get in touch with the fans, and I draw people as zombie characters, and it's like you could sit on the side of the street and get it as a regular cartoon, or I'll do it as a zombie, and I usually stay doing those like all day, so it's fun.
You're the artist.
And I'm the artist, creator, writer. Yes. Yes.
Mike, thanks a lot for chatting with us. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Have a
Go
good
Canada.
show.
Ooh.
The
Zombie
smallest
chicks?
Sith.
Oh, look.
At least I think he's a Sith. That might be Brown.
That might be-
he might be a Jedi. Might actually be the Emperor. Yeah, Emperor is quite short. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yes. It's a little known fact. Emperor is about 4 feet tall.
Now, again, you could see there's like more artists here than you could shake a stick at. And if you have the time to walk through, it's totally worth it because you will find something you like. You'll find something that speaks to you that you've never heard of before that's really interesting.
And I mean,
really
the
fun.
artwork really spans. You've got sort of cartoonish, almost seems like it's for kids type of artwork, and you have more risque type of
lots of parody
graphics.
stuff.
Yeah. There's a little something for everybody. And I mean, I think that what the artists here have in common most of all is a lot of talent. There are certain styles that will appeal to folks and other styles that will appeal to others, but the people who are showing off their talent here are indeed very talented. I mean, it's really gorgeous.
So let's take a swing back here, and then we'll find the autograph alley.
Oh, yes.
And we'll finish up over there.
Sounds
with
good.
Cindy Morgan in the background.
Ah, yes.
All right.
Don't you like how Roger was like, you don't know who Cindy Morgan is. Hey, Roger, I guess you didn't watch my Tron special.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's okay.
He's always trying to one-up you.
I know. You don't seem to think I understand steampunk either, so I get no respect.
Kidding. I'm just
no
kidding
respect, Merritt.
Yeah. All right.
We'd
What's
love
your comic
to interview
book?
you.
Come on over. Hey,
Hi there.
we're streaming live right now on the internet. I'm Tom.
I love this. What is this? A Star Wars.
Star Wars. This is basically how my dad says Star Wars. I love you, Dad.
A Star Wars.
A Star Wars.
That's awesome.
Where are you guys from?
Yes, we work at TWiT.tv, so
nice.
we do a lot of internet television about technology.
Oh, all right.
So we're just kind of here at WonderCon, absorbing it all, talking to the folks like you. What do you guys do?
Well, we basically we're first timers at WonderCon. We have a comic book coming out.
This is your first time. You've never had a booth before.
Never. We're
Cool.
newbies.
Nice.
Basically, we're trying to promote the life of a nerd and talk a lot of smack about hipsters because they suck.
Hipsters. So this is
This is a
like
nerd hipster war thing.
It is. I feel like hipsters have tried to co-opt our way of life, our dress, our mannerisms, and basically we want to recapture this and reclaim our culture. Basically, our story is our ode to the nerdy way of life. We have 3 characters. Memo Morales, he is an illegal immigrant living here from Guatemala. We also have Malik Strong, who was on his way to law school, but unfortunately had to use his money to pay for his mom's medical expenses, and now he's really bitter. And we have Stan Green, a total misogynist who recently lost a lot of weight and basically is making up for lost time, but doesn't realize that by objectifying women, he's not only hurting himself, but the ladies that he carouses with.
Now, Pretty Jumbles in our chat room just says, hating on hipsters is so hipster. How do you respond?
I respond that you're a hipster, bro.
I mean, that's usually how it goes. It's hipsters who say that they're not hipsters are usually the hipsters. And we see that all the time. We get into arguments with that all the time. Like, if people argue they're not a hipster, they're a hipster.
But isn't that what you're doing?
Well, yeah, we're hating on them because they're copying us. That's what we're
Basically,
doing. And one other thing is, like our main character, he's basically poor, but people think he's a hipster.
But he's just actually
poor. But he's just actually poor. Like, he doesn't go to thrift shops to look for stuff. His stuff is just old. Yeah, people's like, oh, where'd you get those cool jeans? Like, cool jeans. Like, I've had these for 10 years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, so and that's kind of like how the story goes. There's going to be a lot of jokes like that.
Honestly, our main problem with hipsters isn't their look. It's things associated with them, i.e. gentrification. In San Francisco, especially the Mission District, the traditional culture of Latinos is being systematically erased. Both Christian and I are Latinos, and we take that to heart.
We both started in the Mission. We both grew up a little bit in the Mission, and then slowly a lot of folks started getting pushed out. And that's kind of still like Valencia Street is gone. It's all hipster
24th Street is gone. You know what I mean? I understand that people love this city and love to move here, but you have to understand that your actions have ramifications. And if you want to live in a trendy district like the Mission, you're kicking out families that that have lived there traditionally for a
long,
long
long time.
time. When you go to thrift stores and you buy vintage clothes, you're taking away clothes from people that actually need it, poor people. $5 jeans are not cool, guys. If you can afford $50 jeans, go buy them. You know what I mean? Leave that for people that need to, need cheap clothing.
So you're taking the story that you guys are living and then putting it into the book.
We're San Francisco natives, so we have...
Well, Stan's more this guy. This guy's more Stan. I give Stan credit to him, so.
I love you, Mom. Remember, he's a misogynist, not me. We're just a vehicle, you know what I mean? They just talk through us.
Passionate stuff here at WonderCon.
And we've been talking about this because we've been here for about an hour talking about all the different people that come. So I'm really glad you called us over here because it's an example of we've talked to a guy from Canada who's pretty successful now, but he started his own business. And of course we've seen the DC booth and the huge stuff. And so it's really cool to see somebody's like, this is how you start out, man. You've got printed out, you're handing these out, you're like drumming it up.
By hand? Because we had a little issue with printing it with a.
I mean, my computer is crap, so I had to drop the resolution so badly, where it also makes the comic look kind of bad, but it kind of works to us. I mean, people can see that we're obviously just.
Well, it's like
starting
what
out,
you were
so.
talking about, where people go into a thrift store and they buy something that's old and poor because they think it looks cool, and you're like, no, I'm wearing this stuff because it's all I can afford.
Yeah, no,
you're like, you're getting the same effect here. It's like, no,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
printer's just broken, but
Like,
hey,
no,
if you
my
like it,
printer's
that's cool.
busted,
Exactly.
and my computer sucks. Like, donations to anyone who wants to buy us a computer. Like,
we need your help.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just first timers out here. We don't want to give the idea that we're just bashing on hipsters, because basically what we really want to do is shine the light on stories of nerds that are true. A lot of times you hear stories from Hollywood that are sugar-coated and they put on a thick veneer. Sometimes nerds win out and they get the girl, but a lot of times we don't. And I think it's fair to show those stories and let them have the light shined on them.
If people want to find out more about what you're doing and they can't make it to WonderCon, where should they go?
We have a website, www.reluctantzero.com. We also have a blog.
Just went up yesterday, so.
Another hiccup we had.
You're ready for us.
It's going slowly, but hopefully we're gonna get more stuff up there. So hopefully we'll get more artwork up there.
Don't everyone go at once. Space it out.
Please support. We promise good stories. It's stories by nerds, for nerds, about nerds.
Well, best of luck, you
Thanks
guys.
so much.
Thanks
It's
for
great to talk
talking
to you.
us.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Call you over because everyone else.
No, we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
All
A
right.
Star
Cheers.
Wars.
Have a good show.
Bye. They were cool.
Yeah, that was a great
Yeah,
example
really
of what we've
cool.
been talking about, like
Well,
all the different levels
I
of
think
people.
of everyone we've talked to, they captured some, that kind of, we're here for the first time, we're excited about the future spark.
Exactly.
That, I don't know if our hot zombie guy really had that, because he's like,
Yeah.
I've done this before,
Right.
this is my fifth
He's not
year.
the super successful guy, but
But
he's
been
doing
around the
okay.
block.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been here
exactly.
several times.
So-
now, of course, this is the autograph alley right here.
Mhm.
You'll see not only Cindy Morgan giving someone a hug right there. She was in Tron, but also Larry Thomas, the Soup Nazi,
Soup Nazi.
is here. Someday those guys will be on his level or beyond.
I have to ask you, Tom, I'm a big Seinfeld fan. Anyone who doesn't know who the Soup Nazi is, it's a Seinfeld episode. But I don't know why he's at WonderCon. Does he seem out of place to you, or am I missing something?
You know what it is with a lot of these folks is they know that people who are interested in what they did are here, and this is their chance to reach out to the fans, maybe make a little money selling photos, selling autographs, something
Right.
like that, do some PR work, stay relevant. And so this is where the actors who have to work hard for publicity go. They don't get the big checks necessarily
Right.
that say a Summer Glau or somebody gets.
Do people pay for the autographs, or are they
It depends.
free?
It depends on the
Depends
on
on
the
the
artist.
person?
Some are free, some are paid. Some will give you an autograph for free, but they'll sell you a photo if you want to get a signed photo or something like that. They kind of all change it up.
I think also this is a good place for someone like Cindy Morgan, who knows that so many of her fans are going to be in one place. It just makes
Right.
sense to be here.
And with the
because
Tron
everybody
Legacy
gets
movie
something
coming
out of
out,
it.
this
Exactly.
is a good time to
Renewed
kind
interest,
of
I guess.
re-emphasize what's going on. And you know what? Honestly, so some of this is for publicity, some of this is for building up a fan base, but some of it is because people just enjoy it. They really like to talk to the public and talk to the folks who like them. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Hopefully you got a pretty good sense of WonderCon. We obviously couldn't hit every booth, but I mean, we'd be here for 3 days.
No, we would be here
as long as WonderCon
absolutely
is.
forever. Hope this gives you a little bit of a taste. Kind of a dry run for us for Comic-Con
It
as
is,
well.
yeah. We're going to be at Comic-Con in July.
Yeah.
So
send
I'm
us,
already scared.
if you're watching this and you're like, I wish they would have done a little more of this or a little
Let
less
us
of that,
know.
send that along. You can send it to TNT at twit.tv or the iPad Today address.
iPad Today at twit.tv.
Just wherever. We'll read it, and we'll take that into account when we do things like Comic-Con and Dragon Con. Also, big thanks to Netflix for sponsoring us. Once again, 30-day free trial, netflix.com/twit. And a big thanks to the live view, without which you couldn't have seen this live.
Yay, live view.
That is how we're streaming it. It's an incredible backpack. And thanks for letting us try the Live View HD.
Absolutely. And, WonderCon has been, people watching galore. This is a lot of fun. And if you like the con coverage that we're going to try to start doing a lot more of this. Let us know, because we will cover as much as you want us to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everybody, from WonderCon 2011. I'm Tom Merritt.
I'm Sarah Lane.
See you later.
Bye.